Now this fault here, straightening the right arm coming into impact, is by far one of the most common faults I see with my students, but it's incredibly destructive as it can cause massive loss of control of club face. You can push it, you can hook it, you can even fat the ball extremely easy doing it. So we need to fix this problem, and I've got a great drill for you to fix this. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. So, like we said in the intro there, the trail arm straightening into the golf ball is an extremely destructive fault. It causes you to fat the golf ball, because imagine if you're coming into that golf ball and your right arm is extending, so trail arm for right-handed golfer, extending. If you do that tiny bit early, you're going to fat the golf ball, because that golf club is going to plummet into the ground early. Extremely hard to time if you're a golfer who's trying to do this, because I know there's a lot of you out there who are trying to do this because it was very 2000s golf instruction and 90s. So you'll fat the golf ball for sure quite a lot of the time. And also, you're going to lose control of this club face. So this club face is going to really start to turn over, because you can imagine as soon as I straighten that right arm, one, that's going to create a little bit of forearm rotation of my right arm, which will start closing the club face off. But if my right arm is happening, straightening via conscious effort or subconscious effort, my body rotation will have to slow down to be able to do it. So that means I will naturally, just from that, I will lose control of the club face through too much hand-arm movement going through the golf ball. So not very consistent of a move, extremely destructive. But that is a very good fix. But to understand the fix, we've got to really understand what causes this movement to happen for golfers who, let's say, aren't trying to do it in their golf swing. So let's get into a few of them. So let's get into the two main reasons to why straightening the trail arm happens through the golf ball. So first one, upper body coming out of posture. So upper body backing backwards. So you could also call this early extension, because it is extending the spine. I'll put a video at the end of this video talking about that in more detail, as that is a whole different topic. This video would be crazy long if I did that. So you can imagine if the upper body is backing up, we're getting further away from the golf ball. So logically thinking, you're right, you're going to have to straighten the right arm to get onto the golf ball. So if your upper body is getting taller, you're going more away, you have to straighten the right arm to be able to hit that shot. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about one drill from this today. We're going to talk about two drills at the end here. So make sure you stick around, because they're both going to target these different faults here. So if my upper body is backing back, like we said, I'm going to straighten the right arm. So I need to make sure that I am staying down in my posture and turning through the golf ball if I want that right arm to be in the position we want to, and that is bent. We need that right arm to be bent going through the golf ball, because if we're going to turn ideally through the golf ball with very little timing elements going through the golf ball, which straighten the right arm, you can imagine that is sure as anything a timing element. We need that right arm to be bent, because we're turning through. If we're going to turn through successfully through that golf ball, we need to be down, we need to be side bending, and for me to be able to do that, that right arm has to be bent. So we need to stay down and turn through the golf ball. So when I say stay down, I'm not talking about staying down with the head like this. I'm talking about staying down with the chest and side bending through the golf ball. So you can see I can even swivel my head to where it's not even looking at the golf ball. So technically my head is up and I'm still in my posture there, but most importantly, right arm's bent, club face will be staying under control. So the next reason we see people who really straighten this right arm, they'll be doing a little bit of the coming out of posture with this bit I'm going to talk about, and that's just generally the club face is open, approaching impact. So if the club face is open, so just like this, coming into the golf ball, if I stay in good posture, keep that trail arm bent, good rotation, by ball, you're going to the right. So what I've got to do here, I would have to back up my upper body a little bit again, but I've got to try and square that golf club. So I'd have this general kind of casting look, but I need to extend the trail arm to be able to do that. So I need to get that right arm to extend to square that club face. So again, it's most commonly, it's in the golf swing to make up for something else you're doing. It's to try to get you to hit the golf ball solidly with what fault you've got already. But like I said, there are golfers who are trying to do this because of 90s and 2000s golf instruction of punching the ball. Why add something that you have to do at impact differently than the rest of your golf swing and the split second impact is. That is a recipe for disaster. Doesn't take much to know that that's going to be a terrible thing for your golf swing, a millisecond of trying to do something. So first drill here, guys. So we need to stay in our posture. So what we're going to do to stay in our posture. Now, this is a brilliant drill that I'm going to show you. This is such a good drill, I'm actually going to be making another video right after this one. So you can see I'm going to be wearing the same thing in that other video. And it's going to be talking about another swing problem that's going to be fixed by this drill. So, all we do, get an alignment stick, put it underneath our trail arm here. So, when that's put underneath our trail arm, now we've got something that we can feel underneath our arm, of course. But I want in the downswing to have this stick pointing down towards the ground as I'm turning through. Because if I'm coming out of my posture, you're going to see how that stick's going to start pointing up and away from me. So I want it pointing down and turning through the golf ball. That's our ideal thing. We get instant feedback straight away. If we're doing a drill that has feedback, we're in business with it. So here we go. Let's hit one here, just half swing to start off with. I want this stick pointing down towards the ground as I'm turning through in the downswing. So as we can see from the slow motion of that there, right arm, we're staying very, very nicely bent. Awesome. This is a great one to get that body opening up. Very, very good one. Rotation is what we need to keep this right arm bent. So another one here. So you can see other little thing. You can see how my left arm touches this at the top of my swing here. And I'm just keeping it almost attached to that left arm the whole time as it's pointing down towards the ground. Hit another one. There we go. Right arm stays very bent. I just feel like I'm lower to the ground as I do this as well. Forces me to stay in that flexed position. So that one's great, really, really good. I'd recommend that one more for you guys who struggle with upper body come out of posture. So club face. Now, ideally we can actually work on club face at the exact same time as doing that. Again, at the end of this video, I'm going to put another video about open club faces, things that cause it. There's plenty of reasons. So let's say if your club face was open because your grip's too weak and you don't match it up with a wrist angle, you can have a better grip and work on it at the same time. You're hitting both at the same time. But let's just say you're someone who maybe has a little bit of a cup in the left wrist. Got a standard grip, you cup the left wrist, that's why the club face is open and it stays cupped in the downswing, so you have to do something with that right arm to square it. Let's do a bent right arm drill. So we'll go through what that is and we're going to work on having a little bit more of a flex left wrist as well. So even if you guys, let's say, don't struggle with that open club face, this is an awesome drill regardless. Like I said, if you guys sticking to the end of this, you're going to benefit from it a lot because this is one of the best drills ever. This is really, really good. So what we do, so this is called bent right arm or Tommy Fleetwood drill. Because when you do it and you're in your finish, you look like Tommy Fleetwood. Because what we do, we keep this right arm bent all the way to the finish. So you can see if my right arm is bent at my finish here, so when I finish my golf swing, what's it going to be like at impact? Bent, of course, because it's very unlikely I'm going to be here in my finish and like that at impact. It's not like I'm going to be doing that, is it? I'm going to be bent with my right arm if I'm bent at the finish. So, okay, that's one part of it. I could just hit some shots doing that. So you can see I just did a little half swing. Of course, start drills off with half swings. And I could be all good, but if I'm someone who has that open club face through, let's say, cupping the left wrist, for example, that ball's going to be going right. Or my body would probably not want to do that one bit because it's more concerned about squaring the club face. So let's add a little bowing the left wrist feel. So really try to feel like you're cranking that wrist to where you feel like your palm is going closer to the inside of your forearm. So if, let's say, you had a glove on, which I actually don't wear gloves. If you had a glove on, you could feel like that glove logo was pointing more up and away from you. That would be a great thing. And then feeling like that glove logo is continually pointing down towards the ground as you're going into the downswing. Or like I said, palm getting closer to your forearm, inside of it, continuing that feel going all the way down into that downswing, whilst trying to keep that right arm bent at the finish. So remember, that's just a feel for the finish. This will be a feel if you're struggling with club face throughout the rest of it. So really having that flex left wrist, bent right arm, post impact in your finish. So 1, I'll tell you what, that creates such a good feeling going through the golf ball. That's really, really good ball striking material, really is. And two, if you struggle with that open club face, that's going to fix it. So, a lot of reps of those for sure. Let me do one more of that so you see. So again, that bowed left wrist, the feeling I'm having is palm getting closer to my tattoo there. And I'm really trying to feel like this right arm is staying a hell of a lot more bent and getting bent through to the finish and holding that finish there. So let's try another one. So just like that, as we could see from the slow-mo, looking quite good. So really from this video, as you know with all of my videos, I don't just say the drill to do, get you understanding why things happen first. Because even though they do come out as longer videos then, but if we're gonna be improving at golf and we want more ownership of our golf swing, we gotta know when we're doing a specific fault, why it's happening. Like we said, with the coming out of posture, with the open club face, the reasoning why this straightening of the right arm is happening is almost more important than knowing what to do to fix it. You have to know this. You can't be left in the dark with this sport. It's something where you do need to have a deeper understanding of it to excel at, especially for your own golf swing. So, absolutely guys, if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified whenever I put out a video. So, let's keep that right arm bent. Don't do this, don't straighten it. You're gonna be playing better golf.